NCEES finally released the Civil PE Handbook to be used for the computer-based exam. However, you can also print out this handbook and take it to the October exam if you're taking it in a couple months. In this video, I'll go over how to download the handbook and also give you an overall review of this handbook. Let's go. To download the handbook, you log on to your NCEES account and under Useful Documents, you go to View Reference Handbooks. And then from here, you can see a list of all different handbooks that NCEES has. This one is right here, the PE Civil Reference Handbook, and you can see that it's the first version they released. So I already downloaded this handbook. We're gonna take a look at it right here. So this is what it looks like. It's version 1.0. It was released last month in July 2021. I already highlighted a few sections here just to let you know that first, this handbook can be taken to the October 2021 exam. And I think that's great because before you would tab your CERM, for example, the Civil Engineering Reference Manual, along with so many other books and maybe school prep material that you would have like EET or School of PE. And now you have this handbook that you can print out and should have a lot of material for the exam for all different areas, as I'm going to show here. Here, NCEES states that the handbook is not meant to contain all the information to answer every single question, but it will give you a lot of formulas, theories, and conversions that will help you throughout the exam. It's also important to note that it's stated right here, you can bring this handbook to the exam as long as you print it out and follow the NCEES exam guide. In 2022, you actually have this handbook during the exam, and you can check out the YouTube channel of NCEES, and they go over how you're going to be able to navigate through this handbook and use searchable tools to locate words and just to help you out during the exam. I know for the FE exam, that was what helped me the most. I'd say just being able to search for keywords within the handbook and then locate formulas to answer some questions. So I expect that to be very helpful for this exam specifically. The handbook is divided up into 6 sections, and there is just a lot of information in the handbook with charts, formulas, tables, you name it. Just a lot of stuff that you would usually have tabbed up in your CERM or other books, as I mentioned before. Now, one thing that I'd like to point is I don't think there is much for the structural section. There are only 3 sections, one for structural analysis, one for steel design, and one for concrete design. So clearly we are still missing wood design, CMU, bridges. So I can see that this handbook is not meant for the depth portion of the exam, which is a huge disadvantage because now for 2022, when you come into the exam, just with having this handbook available to you and the codes that they'll make available to you and you'll be able to search for keywords, it will be great having all those books and codes there, but you won't have solved examples like you could bring before, or a solved practice exam, or just step-by-step guides on how to resolve a simple shear connection or how to resolve a weld problem. I think it will get a little bit tougher for the 2022 and on exams. For October, I think this is just great to print out, familiarize yourself with this handbook, and take it with you. It's just another great resource that you have, I believe, mostly for the morning portion. I don't think it will help you a whole lot for the afternoon structural depth, if that is your depth. Here you can see how many pages for each section this handbook has. And you can see that there is a lot of content for geotechnical engineering and water resources and environmental engineering. The other sections, not as much. So maybe it'll be helpful for the depth portion if you are either doing water resources or geotechnical as your depth. I'm not sure. But for the structural portion, 32 pages is not enough. I know the binder that I took with EET notes, they were over 500 pages of just summaries and practice problems and whatnot. So I know it's not the same because I had a lot of extra material in that binder. As you can see here, this is how thick the binder was. But I know that this handbook will also get updated in the future. NCEES states that they'll have other versions, and then for each exam, they'll have the latest version available. So I can see how they would add on to this structural portion in the future. So just stay tuned and always check NCEES's website before you get too deep into your studies to make sure that you're using the most up-to-date handbook. And this wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any comments for future videos or suggestions for improvement of this channel, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you next time.